Hey guys, hope you're well. Mandilaka here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We will be putting out a few videos in a series format because I have decided to respond to people's requests where they've been saying, put out videos that educate us concerning these strategies that you are putting out. And this is the plan to do that. And today, this is actually one or the first video of many to come. It's been a while. I've actually started my YouTube channel, stopped, but then we're carrying on. And I promise that I'm going to be consistent from this point going forward. So today I wanted to start by chatting to us who have actually just started either corporate and some of the things that I've learned that I probably would have done different in order for me to grow wealth for myself from the moment I started working after varsity, even actually during varsity days. When I was putting this content together, I was thinking of a lady that we went to varsity with who started this financial discipline at that time already. This lady would save every little bit of money that she was not going to use. I don't think she was really being frugal to extremes, but I think she was just disciplined in that she started there to put money away when she was doing tutoring sessions and she didn't need the money. The money that she would get paid for the services she was rendering, she would put away. I remember she didn't tell me this, but a friend of hers was actually telling us about how excited this lady was when she completed her honors degree at the end of her tenure at university. The amount of money she had in her savings was surprising to her as well, to the point that she initially started she actually started her career wanting to be a chartered accountant. When I heard later that she actually had no interest in really becoming a chartered accountant, I think due to the stresses that are really involved, she was the top of the class, so she was not struggling with the content of of, um, of the route, but she just had options by the time she was done with her honors, such that she decided to go into lecturing, which is one of the spaces and I think spheres that one can go into because there's not a lot of pressure except for when you have to mark scripts for exams and tests. I'm sure depending on the number of students that one is lecturing, for sure that takes a toll. But in terms of how you work certain days in a week. You prepare your content and then you go and you lecture for a few days. You have time to do other things, which is what wealth is really about. The freedom that money buys us, because we are all trying to be wealthy. Mostly, if you are rightly appropriating your desire to be wealthy, we are trying to get wealthy because we want to buy ourselves freedom. Freedom to spend time with our families, freedom to take our children to school, take them to games, take them to swimming lessons, have time to actually teach them a whole lot of things in the world, go on holiday with them whenever school trips are there so that you can actually be there. Because one of the things that being employed in a space where you have to be there 5 days in a week or 6 days in a week is that you have less and less time to spend with the loved ones, to do the things you really want to do, to create memories. Therefore, we then go for wealth because we understand that it gives us that privilege, that liberty, the ability to really do the things you really love. But anyway, so this lady then got to go into lecturing. She had more time to herself. Then she also got to do ministry as well. She's a believer. So why I'm trying to advocate for the right pursuit of wealth by rightly appropriating our energy in its pursuit and ensuring that we don't idolize it is for that. It enables us to live out our passions. Anyway, where I'm getting to by this lady's story is the fact that she started by acquiring the discipline of putting money away. I know a whole lot of us want to be wealthy, yet we don't want to acquire good discipline because it's only going to happen when we are disciplined enough to be consistent. So I'm just going to share a few things that I think I would have done differently had I known what I know now in order for me to build wealth right from the moment I left university. Firstly, if I had, this one is going to be subjective because I didn't have this luxury or access. If I had my family in the same town I'd studied in, which is, I mean, I studied in PE, I grew up in PE, but we didn't have a house of our own. I would have stayed the first years, maybe 5 years or my single years at home whilst I am working and building myself up in my career because my cost of living would be less. And this is imperative for someone who is working in the same town you grew up in, or you're working in the same town your family stays in. I understand there's a lot of things I'm overlooking here, toxic setups and all of those. Let's just say all things looking equal or all things being equal. You have a good family setup, you don't have any toxic relationships with your family, you are all good. It is one of the wealth generating tools to make use of low cost of living strategies. To stay at home for the years, it's not necessary for you to go and stay in a flat and rent out or even buy property prematurely. That's possible. So I would then advise those who are actually starting off, who are leaving university, you've just left university, you are edgy to go and rent out a flat because everybody is actually doing it. I want to say you can look at this differently. If you stay at home, firstly, you don't have to pay rent. It's up to you. I know that there are certain races that actually allow their children at a certain stage, if they're staying at home, to pay a certain amount of rent. Even if that's the case, it's not going to be market related. So that means there's a saving that you're going to be doing. Number two, you then are able to save up on the cost of having to buy food and all of that, because of, if you're living in your family setup, you are buying groceries for the whole family. It's cheaper than takeouts and all the other stuff that we actually get to do. Now, you, as much as you have that privilege or you have that advantage, you then also have to apply discipline to say to yourself, as much as you are staying at home and paying less for living expenses, you must ask yourself, how much would I be paying if I was staying in a flat somewhere? And try to treat your income as if it's subjected to those expenses, because what that will do, then it will show you how much difference you have in what you are paying compared to what you should be paying. And that difference, if you can then automate it so that you can put it into an investment account, hopefully it can generate. Right now we have a whole lot of platforms we can use, like your Easy Equities, where you can, or you can even go into your Stanlib. I'm not being paid, by the way, by these entities that I'm mentioning right now. I'm just saying, you can actually go into their platforms and put this money towards such stocks as, I'm not a financial advisor, by the way, but these are some of the stocks that I know that I've actually gotten to invest in, and I've got a track record for them. Like your S&P 500. It's proven that over a period of 20 years, it has actually been able to average a return on investment of about 20%. NASDAQ also is actually recommended. It has had dips and all of that, but then it actually, you get to have an average that's more than what the bank would give you. By the way, on another video, I'll try and compare the difference between investing and savings, because of those two are different in a number of ways, and also your return on investment on the two would be different because of the purposes for which they serve. So if you can then take the difference between what you're paying and what you should be paying, you put it towards such things as these stocks that I've actually stated, and they could give you about 20% return on average on an annual basis for a period of probably 5 to 10 years. By the time you get to go and stay on your own, or even if you don't go and stay on your own, by the time you get to buy either a property that you probably can use as an investment property, you would have a huge lump sum to put towards that acquisition of that asset, that would actually be a deposit, which would reduce significantly your month-to-month repayment. I think this is one of the hacks I wanted to put out to say we can start off, even if you have a child that has just left university, there's no reason in chasing our children out of the house early. If we understand that it's more than just them giving you space, but there is an aspect of building generational wealth. You also who are staying at home as the one who just started at university, you then contribute in some of these things, because when in some of the expenses in the house, because by you being able to do that, you also show your parents that you are easing up the burden for them. So there must be this symbiotic benefit or relationship in terms of benefit, where they see the benefit of having you, even though you are in age they would deem ready to leave the house. Also, you will also see the difference in that what you're paying by being at home is less than what you'd be paying if you were staying in a flat somewhere. So that is my first hack, and I want to encourage that we use this. It's mostly in the Black communities. We need to see this as an opportunity for us to build wealth and also to grow our family in terms of financial stability, because of it helps more than just one person. It helps both the child as well as the parents. See you in the next video. Thank you.